What's good? It's your boy Trouble T Roy. Hit Don't Get Hit Boxing Talk. Back with another one. And it goes. Yeah, man. All I can really say right now is boxing has been boxing. It's crazy right now. We getting crazy upsets. We getting crazy stoppages, knockouts. We getting undisputed champions. We getting great boxing in the women's side. You know, it's boxing is definitely getting to a better place. It's going exactly to where I was claiming it would be by 2024. Definitely, all the bullshit that we've been having to deal with for the last few years is finally coming to a halt. Shit's getting exposed. People are getting exposed. The best are fighting the best, and people are winning. And people are losing the way they're supposed to. And now, which brings me to this fight, which is on everybody's radar right now, and not the fight itself, but the results of the fight. Whereas we just finished having this weekend, we had Tszyu versus Bakhtaran Murtazaliev. I hope I said that right. I'm not going to say his full name again for the rest of this video because it's too hard. But I will say Bakhtaran. I hope that's the way it is pronounced, his first name. So Bakhtaran came in there and stopped Tszyu in 3 rounds. I didn't even get to watch the fight. When they was walking out, I had to go and put some clothes. I had to go out to the garage, put some clothes in the dryer, turn it on. Then I got a call. Then I came back into the house. And what I see on the screen is that they are removing the gloves from the fighters. I'm like, what the fuck, cuz? Like, what is going on? So I'm sitting there like, oh, dang, Tszyu did it that easily? Then I look at the screen, and Bakhtaran, he's standing up getting his gloves cut off, getting the tape, the gloves cut off, removing the gloves. And he's standing up, his corner smiling at him, everything. I'm like, I'm confused. Then they pitched the picture over to Tszyu. He's sitting down in his corner and looking around almost like confused. His corner looking confused and disappointed. I'm like, oh no. Then they start showing highlights and they start showing Tszyu getting knocked down. Stop. It's like, whoa. Was not expecting that at all. And the crazy thing, I don't think majority of boxing fans, whether casual or hardcore or whatever you want to call it, did not expect Tszyu to lose this fight. It was definitely an upset. But, once again, that's boxing for you. I'm not mad. I'm happy it happened because it was supposed to happen. This is the way things are supposed to be. This is what happens when you challenge yourself. So I'm going to get to the problem I had with the fight, though. The problem I had with the fight is the fact that it was even made. And I feel like Tszyu has been, I don't know if it's his own decisions or it's his team, but the moves they've been making over the last, not even half a year, since his last loss has not been good in my opinion. I mean, you just got off a war. You just got out of a war with Sebastian Fundora 6 months ago, about half a year ago. Not even the full year, half a year ago. A loss by decision and a bad cut, which you fought, I think, at least half of the fight with, which didn't make nothing better. But you fought that fight like a warrior. He fought that fight like a warrior. That was a great thing. It was I think that goes down as definitely a fight of the year candidate. But so you or your team choose to go into another championship fight only 6 months or so later, coming off of a loss, a war, and a bad injury, and you go straight into another championship fight. I understand warriors going to be warriors, but it's a time where a warrior has to actually make sure he heals up and gets his sword sharpened. You know what I'm saying? I would not have let my guy back into the ring for a championship fight against somebody who's, I mean, he's a champion. Pretty unknown in my opinion. I don't know much about Bakhtaran, but I mean, obviously he's something serious for things. He does have punching power. I really wish I would have had more time to kind of look into Bakhtaran and his style and everything before the fight. I never really even heard of the guy till now. But of course, and that's another reason why I'm like, oh yeah, this should be an easy fight. You should get this belt and then go ahead and maybe go for the Fundora rematch or go after Crawford like everybody, like what was being talked about. But bad idea for them to move him that way. I feel like he should have had at least maybe 2 tune-ups. If he was going to come back this soon, give him a tune-up. Shoot, make the Keith Thurman fight like they was trying to do before the Fundora fight. I still don't understand what happened with that, but it could have made that Keith Thurman fight. Keith Thurman be out of the ring he's going to be out of the ring 3 years if he ever fights again. So this would have been close to 3 years for Keith Thurman. That's a tune-up. Easy. You know? Or some other fighters. Get some underranked fighters. Get a couple of underranked fighters and let Tszyu get his groove back. You know what I'm saying? Let him get that feeling back. Let him get that confidence back in him. I ain't saying he wasn't confident in this fight, but I do think that they all overlooked this dude, and this was the results, unfortunately. So I thought that was just a bad move. You don't put somebody coming out of a war and injuries back into another war. You never do that. It don't work like that. Boxing is just like anything in life. You gonna get knocked down. You ain't gonna jump back up. If you're smart, you ain't gonna just jump back up and get back into the shit just so shit could be worse. And that's exactly what they did, in my opinion. But I mean, hey, warriors are gonna be warriors. Tszyu, he's a warrior. He wanted to be that, but it didn't work out.
Look, there's plenty of options. I think what's his name? Charlo.
Jamel?
Yeah,
the 54.
The younger one, yeah?
Yeah.
They're twins, aren't they?
Yes.
Yeah. The smaller one, I mean.
He's a minute and a half younger, I think.
A minute?
I think you got it right.
Yeah. You can tell. Who else is there? There's Errol Spence, Fundora, Erickson Lubin. You know, there's plenty of names.
You're naming a lot of PBC guys.
Yeah.
Is there, it was publicized, Turkey Al-Sheikh clapped at you or whatever, but
And their situation was this PBC shit. I didn't even realize he was still with PBC. I thought maybe he had got out of that, but PBC is literally failing. I feel like they had, honestly, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like PBC might have had a hand in this. Why are you letting your fighter, once again, coming out of a war, go back into war right away? I think PBC is letting their fighters down. I think we've been seeing the patterns. We've been seeing what's been happening. We've been talking about this happening for years. PBC fighters are going down. I never thought Tim was a real PBC fighter, but I feel like just being on their platform, even if it's just PBC platform on Amazon, I feel like that's just a setup. It's a setup for failure. I do believe PBC is like the last. PBC is like the graveyard of boxing. This is where you go to have your career ruined. Look what happened to like Manny Pacquiao. What they did to him. You know what I'm saying? Look what happened to Danny Garcia. He went to PBC and he ain't do shit. He ain't beat nobody worth talking about. Like people go to PBC just to, Look at Thurman. Thurman don't even fight. He fight like every 2 years. Look like shit and then leave. like you know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, PBC. Just look at Broner. There's too many examples of failing PBC fighters. There's more examples of them failing than succeeding. Everybody thought PBC was going to be the shit because of Mayweather, but Mayweather had already established everything he needed. He's the one that made PBC a thing in the first place. He didn't have to. He wasn't PBC. Mayweather was Mayweather. And he was just moving how he wanted to, and PBC just happened to be representing him. These other fighters are PBC fighters, which is they under Al Heyman, and whoever else is under Al Heyman is who tells these PBC fighters what to do. And it's a lot of these guys are being protected, and as soon as they can't be protected no more, then that's when it's just like, oh, well, we saw that coming. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate because I feel like Tszyu, and apparently Tszyu was trying to be in America.
I'd love to fight in Saudi Arabia. I think it's an emerging country, first of all. But for me, as a young kid and as a boxing lover, America's where it's at. And I grew up watching big fights. And for me, it was always a dream of mine to be fighting here, to be fighting out of here, and to be experiencing it all. And that for me is number one.
And now you're here, you're in Las Vegas, you're an Australian in Las Vegas. How have you acclimated just from the lifestyle aspect?
Yeah.
What do you do on your days off? How do you like living here?
Yeah, it's a bit different. It's a bit different. I'm used to the beach, so there's no beaches here, especially in Vegas. But yeah, it's a little bit different. But I'm slowly getting used to it, and Vegas is hot. Yeah, preferably prefer a little bit of that California weather, actually.
You know, trying to move to America and train, or I don't know if he already did. He talked about, I guess he went the rounds with American boxers, and he trying to get the American attention and everything. And I'm just saying, like, America is not the place. They put America, I don't know why people, but there's only people in America putting American boxing on the pedestal, because American boxing ain't been the best in years. I've been saying that for the longest. The biggest fights ain't got nothing to do with America. The biggest fighter in America isn't even American. You know what I'm saying? So it just tells you something right there. And that man just comes to PBC to beat up American fighters and then dip. He gets the money and he leaves. He's keeping American boxing alive by himself, basically. You know, for the most part, we see these PBC fighters, these American fighters, just falling. It's like, I don't know. I always look at, look at what happened last week with Bivol Beterbiev. The results were, the judges' scorecards weren't great. The results were crazy. The fight was great. The fight, you could tell it was two of the best fighting each other. Ask yourself, when was the last time you seen two of the best fighters fighting each other when it came to a PBC? Who? Exactly. So that's all I'm saying. I think that was I think they made some bad decisions, some bad career decisions just over these last few months, over the past last year when it came to Tszyu. I really do. I feel bad, but I don't feel bad at the same time, because this is a sport. This is boxing. This is what you live. This is how you move. This is what he and his team chose. This is what his management chose. I feel like it was just a bad setup. I ain't gonna use the bad matchup shit. I'm gonna use this was just a bad setup. It wasn't meant for him to go back into war after coming out of war that soon. I really believe that, and whoever is in control of Tszyu's career really fucked him. That nigga got fucked. They did him wrong. They did him wrong, right, for real. That's how I look at it. But that's just me. I got some other stuff I want to bring up too. But until then, I'm gonna just leave it there. I want to get y'all comments, y'all opinions, y'all thoughts about what happened. Y'all can leave them in the comments. But yeah, like, share, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit. It's your boy Hit though. We Hit Boxing Talk. Trouble T Roy. Yeah, man. Shit. On to the next. All right, y'all. Peace.